Hello folks, how are you doing? It has been months since I posted anything on this channel, and I think I want to post a little bit more regularly once again. And to start out, I thought I'll have a little bit of a recap of what has been going on in the meantime. This video has the potential to become really long, and I'm going to try really hard to avoid that. Oh look, my battery is down. Oops. So we are back with a fresh new battery. Here I've made a little list of all the things that I want to talk about to hopefully keep myself on track. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit ranty, I imagine, but it's also probably going to be pretty relatable because I think a lot of us are dealing with a lot of similar issues right now. A lot of uncertainty in the world, a lot of financial insecurity, a lot of stress and anxiety. So if you've had enough of that, maybe skip this one. And for the rest of you, come with me on the complaint train. Choo choo. Why did I do that? Okay, so the year started with a lot of problems already, as they usually do. I don't like the start of the new year because typically a lot of prices go up, my rent goes up, postal expenses go up, which is a problem for me because I have a small web shop where I sell my postcards and stationery. It's mostly postcards, and at this point in time, sending a postcard costs more than the postcard itself. So you can imagine how much that is helping me to sell postcards. In other news, I found out that the postal service in Denmark is planning to discontinue the letter carrying service, or whatever you call that. They will no longer send letters. You could still send packages, but not letters. And that's a problem because I send my orders as letters because they are so small. And sending them as a package will make them even more expensive and kind of impossible to send. I offer free local pickups to people who live in Copenhagen, but of course that won't work with everyone. I would say it works not too bad because a lot of my products have something to do with Copenhagen or Denmark in general, so probably most of my customers are locals. Although back when Etsy was a viable marketplace, I did have at least 50%, I think, of my orders were from the US, but that's gone now because Etsy is no longer a viable marketplace, and that's a whole other topic. I barely get any sales there anymore, and maybe it's for the best because I can no longer even keep with all the requirements and whatever now is going on with tariffs or oh man.
Say that you're fine. They're not really fine.
Anyway, so I was talking about the letter service. PostNord, which is the service I use for my orders, will no longer carry letters. There will be another company that will take over that. That starts, by the way, next year. So there is like a 1-year transition period. And that's good. That offers like some solution. But from what I understand, they're only offering this service within Denmark. Again, that will be a problem with customers from abroad. I was planning to maybe also expand my range to things that could be interesting to people outside of Denmark as well. But now I don't know if that's worth it anymore because can I even send anything to these people? And of course, there is a possibility for digital products, but I am a bit reluctant to do that because I don't really want to sell my ready-to-print art for pretty cheap and risk it being stolen. Although at this point, what can you do? I mean, artists have already been scraped into hell. And yeah, there is, I think I forgot that in my list, but this whole AI thing, I don't even know if I'm going to go into that right now because there's already a lot. So yeah, there's been all this post drama to worry about. One of my ways to sort of deal with online sale being more and more not a viable option for me has been to try and sell more into local shops, and I'm still working on that. I have some local shops in town that offer my products. It's good, but it's not really working as well as I would like it to. I don't know how to put that. I also don't have that many shops just yet. I've been really wanting to get into wholesale, so I've been trying to figure that out. I actually had a potential customer contact me. I didn't even reach out to them. They reached out to me, so I was very hopeful. They were talking really big numbers, but it came to nothing at the end. I feel like I've trained myself to no longer get excited for anything because most of the exciting things that come up end up not going anywhere. So I just get sad. The issue with this potential customer was that it seems like they are used to dealing with very big companies, very big suppliers that are able to offer incredibly cheap prices, and they're offering free card displays for the shop. Those rotating sort of stands where you find cards in, for example, souvenir shops. And that's a bit steep for me, although I was like, yeah, sure, I'll figure that out. Then they're used to having those suppliers buy back all the cards or merch that hasn't been sold at the end of the season, which, again, I don't think I can afford to do. Basically, what I've learned from that interaction is that I'm nowhere near being able to offer this kind of wholesale that is typically expected because I'm not big enough. I don't have this kind of money in the bank. There is a lot of gurus that will tell you how the solution to all of your problems is starting a business. And sure, having a business is great for many reasons, but it's by no means solution to any problems. It has a lot of problems in and of itself. And if you're not already financially comfortable, I don't know how viable even it is, because you need to put a lot of money in to get anything out. Like, sure, there are cheap ways to promote yourself, like social media. There is ways to make products without investing a lot of money, like digital products. But everyone is doing that. At this point, everything is so oversaturated. You really can't expect much of it. It is really, really difficult and rough out there. And if anyone tells you otherwise, it is because they're trying to sell you something. They're promising you results that just can't be replicated. And I've already been told that I'm too negative and I let people down when I say stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not your mom. You can do whatever you like, but people be scummy. Gurus be scummy. Anyway, another general issue that I noticed already last year is people generally buying less. So far, the strongest year in my business has been 2023 and 24. Things went down. And yeah, I could feel it. And, the economy is doing whatever the economy is doing. People are just not buying non-essential things anymore. I'm not blaming them. I'm the same. I'm only paying for my rent and food. Very rarely it is that I spend money on anything else. And so, yeah. To go back to the start of this year, my finances have been at an all-time low, and there have never been super high for me. I've never earned a lot. I didn't grow up with a lot. I was never used to a lot. So I am already very frugal. I'm very used to not spending much, not needing much, but there is only so much you can sort of shrink within yourself. There is a baseline that you cannot escape. There are those things like rent and food that are just there. I guess I can move back with my parents, and I haven't ruled that out. Let me say that. But I hope I wouldn't have to do that. I mean, my parents are great and they wouldn't mind it at all. They would probably be very happy, actually. But I'm not ready to feel like as much of a failure in my life just yet. Just a little editor's note here. I just want to say that I think it's really, really bad that we see relying on other people like your parents or friends or partner or neighbors, whatever, that we see relying on help from other people as embarrassing or failure or like something negative. And this is something I'm trying to unlearn myself, and I catch it over here and I just want to push back against it immediately. Relying on others is not embarrassing, it's not lazy, it's not bad. It's actually pretty hard, at least for me. And it is very necessary because we can't do everything by ourselves. We can't rely just on ourselves. This is a myth. You cannot make it all by yourself. You just can't. So if you are currently or in the future relying on someone, that's okay. There is a lot of strength in collaboration and community, and we all need to get much better at that, very much including me. All right, so yeah, because of all that, I decided that it is time to go back to having a job. For the time being, I'm only considering part-time jobs, but who knows. So I've been applying, I've went to some interviews, and I actually did start a job last week. It was a really stressful, really anxious week because I had interviews, I had started this job, and there was a lot of stuff going on. And for a moment there, I felt some sense of relief that maybe things are going to get better now. I would still have time for my work, but I will also have a little bit of income coming in. But the start of this job didn't go so well so far. I've had 2 shifts, and at the second one, I was sent home, and I don't have anything scheduled for next week. So, like, I haven't been fired, but I also feel like I'm not certain that I still have this job. I'm waiting to hear back from my interview from another job, but I don't feel like I got that one. So maybe I'll be back to square one. And with all this stress and anxiety and uncertainty, I haven't been able to create really. I haven't been able to make anything. And it also feels like, what is the point of making something if I don't have the money to actually produce it? Why design new cards if I don't have the funds to print them? There have been moments when I would get an order and I'm like, do I even have the money to send this order? Because I'm not getting the money right away. I would get them in a week or at the end of the month, whatever. So, yeah. It's pretty tight. There hasn't been art markets because there usually aren't at this time of year. I have already scheduled some for in a few months, but again, my inventory does need some replenishing and I don't have the funds to do that. So, and yeah, by the way, when I'm saying all that, it's just to sort of show the reality of it. I think that a lot of the kind of videos I enjoy watching and also making fall into this category of romanticizing life and romanticizing self-employment as an artist. And, you know, that's nice. There is a space for that. But I think it might leave the wrong impression with a lot of people. So I think it is important to every now and then stop and be like, hey, this is fantasy, you know, like, I mean, sure, some of it is real, like we do paint and draw sometimes, and we do back orders, and it's very whatever. But a lot of us also don't make that much, and those of us who claim that they make a lot, I don't know how much we can trust them. Be very skeptical of those. And so yeah, this is the situation I find myself in right now in the middle of April. I don't really know if I have a job. I hope I do, because that will improve my situation immensely. It will bring some extra stress and it will take away some of my time and energy. I'm not excited about that, but I am very excited to have less financial stress. So please don't fire me. I will do good. I'll be so good. I have a bunch of videos that I started and didn't finish, and now I'm trying to go back, kind of finish them one by one, so hopefully I have some more stuff to post. But yeah, as I said, it's generally, at least for me, very hard to make things when I feel like things are not okay, when I have a lot of stress, when I have to worry about the rent or the whatever. And to those of you who would say, well, just get a normal job, I'm trying and I've tried. It's not like getting a job is that much easier. Yeah, things are bad. Things are pretty bad. We're trying to survive. We're trying to figure it out. I know it's not just me. I know a lot of people are in that situation. So let's not be shitty to each other about it. Okay. And yeah, in a little bit more positive news, there is this project I've been kind of having on the back of my head for like 2 years now that I've wanted to start. It's another little kind of illustrated book, travel journal kind of thing that I've been very excited to do, but I do need some stability to get into that project because it feels way too frivolous to work on something like that when my rent is not figured out, and I feel like I need to spend that time applying for jobs or applying for projects or applying for things. And I feel like in the last few months there's been a lot of applying for things in my life, and I'm very, very excited to not have to be doing that so much anymore. So I so much hope this job can work out. If it does work out, see how it goes in the next few weeks. If it is working, then I will finally start this project and hopefully will be able to put a little bit of time and energy in something that I would actually enjoy and that would be actually fun to work on, because there hasn't been much fun lately. So yeah, I think this is more or less all I wanted to touch on right now. I hope you're still here. I hope you will stay with me and that we can continue on this journey together wherever it leads us. Subscribe, maybe like, maybe comment, especially comment. I would really appreciate a comment because that shows me there are real people on the other end. It's good to know that there's still real people on the internet. If you are AI or a bot, please don't comment. I don't care about you. I don't give a shit. I have actually decided to be rude to the AI so that when they take over the world, they take me out first, because I don't want to live in that world. Yeah, okay, we are done here. We are done. Go home. That's it. Bye. Bye.